Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Saturday. And first and foremost, as always, want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, we all know that the Los Angeles Lakers were back home in the friendly confines of the Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles, taking on none other than the Philadelphia 76ers, who were quite short-handed. But before I get into that, I want to briefly talk about the game on Wednesday night. As we know, the Lakers were in Memphis. I was traveling. I was actually at that game, but traveling on the road, I did not have a chance to come back and just give you any analysis. Won't do any deep diving because, as we all know, but as I said prior to the game, that was a game that I did not think the Lakers could win just because of their lack of depth in the front court and not having Anthony Davis. I didn't think the Lakers stood a chance, and ultimately they were blown out the way I thought that they would be, but not in the fashion that I thought they would be, because the Lakers were actually in the game for the most part, and I was there, and I'm telling you what, man, it was a scene to see. It was my first time actually seeing LeBron James in person, and it was a sight just to see somebody 39 years old dropping 39 points, and that's exactly what he did one time with the rim rocker, the threes, him and Jock going back and forth. Man, the crowd just, it was a great atmosphere, especially during the sequence when LeBron James, when I think Ja Morant had did the too little on on Gabe Vincent, and then LeBron came back down and did it on Ja with the payback. I mean, the crowd was going insane. I hate I didn't get to record it. I did get to record the tech file after that. I'm going to put it on at the end of this video. If you stick around, you can check that out. But man, and then LeBron James with the step over Blake Clark. I'm telling you what, it's creating a great rivalry. And Ja had some things to say after the game. And one of the things he said after the game was LeBron is the GOAT, just in case you didn't see. He tweeted it. That's what he did, said LeBron was the GOAT. But also, just the rivalry, said he was in street clothes. So, he wanted to get some payback, because last year there was a lot of chirping, especially when LeBron had stole the ball, finished with the dunk, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. The Lakers ultimately lost that game. And my key main takeaways from that game is the Lakers have no bench. They don't have any reliable shooters. And this continues to be something that the Lakers have struggled with over the course of the past 4 seasons, I would say. And then you have Rob Pelinka still gainfully employed. And this is going to be a conversation for another day, because I'm going to do a whole show and just go back over the past 4 seasons and just list the people, the role players that the Lakers had. Now, you got a team like Memphis who was unbelievably deep and just had people knocking down threes left and right. And I continue to say, why can't the Lakers find players like this who can just be consistent? That's all we ask for, is consistency. And I won't get too much into the X's and O's of the game that night, because I'm going to more focus on the bounce back game that the Lakers had as a result, because not for one, but Anthony Davis came back. We're going to talk about that. But also, D'Lo being benched. And before I talk about the reasoning behind that, I do want to say I was at that Memphis game where D'Lo, and like I said, the Lakers were in the game. And I was like making a few people mad at the game, because every time LeBron was scoring, I'm mad, and they was getting hot. But at the end of the day, the Lakers was keeping it close. I mean, in the second half, it was in the third quarter, the Lakers were down by 4. And I said, oh, here the game could be potentially for the taking, right? Ja Morant goes down. He's injured. Unfortunately, game is ripe for the taking. What happens? D'Lo just starts jacking up threes left and right. And then, he did it 2 or 3 times in a row, not getting the Lakers into their offense. As a result, leading to threes on the other end by the Memphis Grizzlies. They actually went on like an 8-0 run within like a minute because of D'Lo jacking up threes, long rebounds, pill-outs, leading to fast break points on the other end for Memphis in transition. So at the end of the day, Memphis outdid the Lakers, even after Ja Morant went to the bench. He went to the bench, but, they just couldn't pull it off. But now Anthony Davis comes back. And what I want to say about Anthony Davis is J.J. Redick told him before the season, don't just go out the defensive player of the year. Go out and be the MVP. And I'm telling you right now, y'all know how much I love LeBron James. But LeBron James is pushing 40. And people have been trying to murmur it the past few years. And I've made many videos you can go back and watch of the reasons why I said LeBron James was the leader and the best player on this team. that torch is now actually finally getting past Anthony Davis. And Charles Barkley even has said, if the Lakers want to be successful, everything needs to go through Anthony Davis. And I don't think LeBron James disagrees. What Anthony Davis does on the defensive end of the floor is nothing short of remarkable. He is the anchor to that defense. And without Anthony Davis, I'm telling you right now, if Anthony Davis had played the other night against Memphis, I think they would have won that game just because Jared Jackson Jr., you're asking too much of LeBron. For LeBron to have scored 39 while also trying to defend Triple J, man, do you see? I'm seeing Triple J in person. He is a beast going up against LeBron. And LeBron, 39 years old, trying to guard this man for the majority of the game while also trying to give you 39 points. Now, and then Edie, Jackson Hayes, there's no way he could do that. But I don't want to go back to that game. Like I said, we're going to focus on what happened as a result. So when D'Lo started shooting up all them crazy shots, he was benched, never to come back in again for that game. And it carried over into the next game. And D'Lo was benched going into that starting lineup. And look what happened. And I'm not saying that it was all because of that. But I, for one, think it is a good idea. And LeBron mentioned it after the game. That is because D'Lo, you have to bring some scoring. And LeBron James, I think, said it perfectly, even more so than J.J. Redick in the presser. It is important to have scoring off the bench. And there was no secret that has not been happening for the Los Angeles Lakers. Their benches have been trashed. And you talk about Gabe Vincent and Max Christie. And I like Max Christie. And I think if you give him an opportunity, he could end up becoming more consistent. I hope he's not one who finally got some money. He's young and now he's not putting in the work that he needed to. He signed the deal over the summer. But at the end of the day, I think Max Christie can be a 3-and-D player. He has pretty good defensive skills, and I know that he can eventually start back making threes. I've seen him in a rhythm before. He is in a slump. All players get in a slump. But at the end of the day, I just feel like Max Christie is somebody who can eventually get over. But if you look at for the season, Max Christie done scored 35 points for the whole season, including last night. Gabe Vincent done scored 27 points for the season, including last night. Now, let me just take a look at how many points D'Lo had coming off the bench on yesterday. He had a total of 18 points. D'Lo had 18 points. So you're telling me in one game off the bench, D'Lo had 18 points, and then you sit up here and then you look at Max Christie, 35. He had more than half of what each one of them had for the whole year in points. You understand me? So what is really going on with the bench? And that is why J.J. Redick, I think, made a wise decision, and maybe he sold it to D'Lo like that. And I don't like these reporters at the end of the game. You understand? I understand if you have to ask certain questions you want to probe, but it's almost like they like to stir up and create drama. The decision is what it is. D'Lo's gone through his struggles before, even in the past, even with Darvin Ham. What difference does it make if it's a different coach? And D'Lo said he's left all that baggage at the door and he just wants to win. That should be enough for the reporters. Stop digging. What else are you trying to really find out? Well, what was the conversation like? And I understand people say the reporters have a job to do, but guess what? You watching this channel, I'm a part of the media too. Media is a medium, whether it's social media, news media, print media, electronic media, or however you want to look at it. Do your job right. And that's not it. That's not it. You might think it is, but it isn't. Find a real story. That's not the story. The story is D'Lo is bought in, and J.J. Redick said in the presser that it may be temporary, it may not. We still have missing players. When Vando comes back, and LeBron alluded to this in the presser last night, that the Lakers will have length again on that defense because Cam Reddish is doing something that they needed Vando to do. He's bringing foot speed, like LeBron said, and he's bringing that tenacity. And I even saw that at the Memphis game. And I forget who the Lakers played before that, the game that I watched on television. He was in people's face. What he do? He did not, they need that tenacity. They need that toughness. Diving on the floor for loose balls, getting your hands in the passing lanes, playing tough defense. I think it was maybe the Phoenix game that he played. Some defense on KD. I cannot remember. But at the end of the day, I'm telling you right now, I like the decision of putting D'Lo on the bench because if D'Lo not on the bench, who on the bench going to score? It ain't been Max Christie. It damn sure ain't going to be Jackson Hayes. Dalton Knecht is still a rookie. You're asking a little bit too much of this man. Although Dalton Knecht had 16 points last night to Max Christie. 16 minutes last night to Max Christie's 1 minute last night. 1 minute and 30 seconds. So you've seen what's happened to that. And Dalton Knecht was off only 1 out of 8 at 12%. Really didn't give you much. A lot of his three-pointers did rim out. I will say that a lot of his three-pointers did rim out. They were right there, and they were good looks. He just got to knock them down. I think Max Christie could knock down those same looks. I'm not saying one over the other. I understand that's your rookie, and you want to put him in a position to be victorious. But at the same token, Max Christie's still a young player who needs development as well and brings you more on the defensive side. He just eventually had to get into a rhythm. But at the end of the day, like I just said, the man ain't scored number 32 points all year. So he's going to have to get better. So at some point, he needs to get out of that slump. But J.J. Redick putting D-Lo on the bench and D-Lo buying into it, I think is very important. And I think it should stay that way. I think maybe they should tell D-Lo, you could easily be a sixth man of the year. Find something new. I mean, being a starter, that's cool. But guess what? There's a lot of players that still remember for today. They might not be Hall of Famers, but guess what? They won rings and they came off the bench and they was important. And you know what? They left a legacy. What legacy are you going to leave, D-Lo? Are you honestly going to go to another team and be a starter and take them to a championship? No, you're not. Unless you find some kind of perfect situation that somehow no, you're not. It's just not going to happen. Maybe you're the point guard, take over Chris Paul down in San Antonio and play with Wemby in 5 years from now. Like, who knows? No, you're not going to be in that position. There's going to be young players up and coming. Right now, you're in Los Angeles, beautiful city, one of my favorite cities. I don't blame you for wanting to be there. You're getting paid a decent amount of money. You're playing with GOAT James. You're playing with Anthony Davis, a perennial MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. Your situation could not be any better. Look at Microwave Vinnie Johnson back in the day. He wasn't a starter with the Pistons, but you damn know when he came in the game, he was going to get it cooking. You understand me? So, D-Lo, you could probably score as much as you want because now you on the bench. Not only is that good, you're going against other bench players more than likely. So that's going to be better for you to score because you're more of a starting caliber player. You can score more points that way. And then not only that, you're still going to have time when you're on the floor with LeBron James. LeBron James had two beautiful behind the pack passes to D-Lo last night. One for a three and then one in the paint, where LeBron James passed it to D-Lo. And if you look at D-Lo on last night, D-Lo, let's take a look at what D-Lo's stat line ended up off the bench. 7 out of 12, 58%. 2 out of 4 from three. That's 50%. Had 2 out of 3 from the free throw line. You talking 18 points at 60%. That is a lot better than what D-Lo has been doing. And I think for one, it's because he was playing, I think for one, because he was playing against the bench, So at the end of the day, the Lakers, I think, can still make a push. Their next 5 games, if you look at their next games coming up, who do they have? Let's take a look. They will be going against Toronto. Remember last game in Toronto, they was winning by 25 points at Toronto. Toronto came back and made that close. So that's a game I think they could win. And then after that, they have Memphis coming back. John Moran is probably still going to be on their injury report. You'll have Anthony Davis back more than likely. That's a winnable game. Then you're at San Antonio. I would, for one, can't wait to see that matchup. That's going to be on ESPN. I think 7:30 Central, if I'm not mistaken, maybe Eastern time. I'm not sure, but that'll be San Antonio at San Antonio. That'll be a good game. And Saturday at New Orleans, that's going to be the 16th. That'll be the second game of it back-to-back. That'll be a good game. Anthony Davis loves to go down to New Orleans and show out for where he started and played the majority of his career still at this point. And breaking news, Zion Williams has just been diagnosed with a, I won't say severe, but a decent enough mid-level hamstring strain, and it's going to be out and reevaluated. And it's going to be out for probably the next week or two, if not more, because you do not want to come back and re-injure the hamstring. So lo and behold, fortunes, and I won't never pray for nobody else's downfall, but that could be another winnable game for the Lakers. Then they got Utah coming to them. That's a winnable game. Then they got Orlando. So these are a lot of winnable games for the Lakers to go ahead and move up in the standings. And if you look at the NBA standings right now in the Western Conference, the Suns at the top 8-1. The Lakers gave them that long loss, if y'all didn't forget. And the Lakers were leading by 20 against them again and gave the game away. So the Lakers had that potential, as long as Anthony Davis can stay healthy, to be one of the better teams in the leagues. The Warriors fell down to 7-2. As we all know, the Warriors went into Cleveland, got smacked around. That Cleveland team, I'm telling you right now, is still the only undefeated team at 10-0, really doing their thing right now. They looking nice. Timberwolves 6-3. Maybe that Julius Randle trade is looking better than what some may have thought. And I'm telling you right now, the Lakers put an L on them. So the Lakers could easily be up here right now. They're in the 8th spot at 5-4, but there's a lot of teams at 5-4. The Rockets 5-4, Lakers 5-4, Clippers 5-4, Mavericks 5-4, Kings 5-4. So that shows you how deep the West is. All the way down to 11 is over 500. And if you look at the Eastern Conference, starting at the 4th seed, they're under 500, 4-5. Nets 4-5, Pacers 4-5, Pistons 4-6 at the 7th spot, Magic 4-6 at the 8th spot. And you're talking about a play-in. Eventually, hopefully, that'll weigh themselves out. But if you really take a look at the Eastern Conference, other than the Cavaliers, Celtics, and Knicks, who do they really have? The Heat, maybe, the 76ers, and the Bucks usually will be perennial teams that would be near the top of the standings. But with Darvin Scam over there with the Bucks, and we won't get into what Antetokounmpo was saying, but you're talking about 2-7, and the 76ers, befuddled with injuries, are 1-7. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. If you haven't done so already, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. If you've already subscribed, make sure you hit that notification bell to know when the shows are coming. It can be unpredictable. I'm trying to get stable, have a show every day like I used to. I'm doing the best I can. You know I'm a granddaddy. Paul got a lot going on, man. I got a huge family, and I always have some things, but I want to dedicate myself to this show on every day. But I'm going to need the views. So y'all up them views, up those likes, up those shares, and up those subscribers, and we'll get it cracking. We can talk NBA all day, every day. But anyway, for those who've been with me for the long haul, you know you much appreciated. Y'all know who y'all are. Peace and much love to everybody I'm down with. And as always, this has been your boy B New. I'm saying right on to the real, and much love to the haters. And I'm out. Peace.